total different
If
setup
I
than the
can
others.
start my music.
Yeah. See what happens. I haven't even seen this yet.
Do they know? Can you hear it? Time. Throughout my time in coffee, I have been obsessed about one thing. The connection between the flavors we experience in the cup and the actions that shape them at origin. But in most coffee experiences, that connection's broken. We give information about varieties and altitudes, farm names, but without context, it's just noise. And repeated often enough, it's a noise that risks commodifying the experience of specialty. So I wanted to try something different. A developed sensory experience focused on flavor, and all the farm information will come at the very end. Now, when we experience flavor, it's primarily through our perception of aromatic compounds. In coffee, around 1,000 of these have been identified, many tied to roast notes or generic flavors, but some are really interesting. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to look at 10 compounds tied specifically to the drinks I'm serving you today. In your milk beverage, compounds within the espresso interact with the milk I'm using. 120 grams of 2% fat milk. And together, it results in flavors of granola, and brown sugar, and poached pear. Now I'm going to talk you through some of the work I've been doing whilst I'm brewing shots. So I would like you to focus on this graph here. Don't look at me. Just listen, and I'll give you some context for understanding that. You ready? Thank you. Okay. So in order to better understand the connection between flavors and compounds, I began working with the Department of Food Sciences at the University of Nottingham, using gas chromatograph mass spectrometry, or GCMS, on identical extractions to determine the key aromatic compounds within this roast and recipe. I compared this to further analysis of different coffees from the same farm, including different varieties and the same variety when grown at a slightly lower altitude. And finally, I compared to alternative extraction recipes of the coffee I'm serving you today, including the recipe I'll use in your espresso later, and the recipe I'll use now in your milk beverage. 20 grams in, 40 grams out, with a 21% extraction yield. Now, all these comparisons have allowed me to identify key compounds that are tied to roast, other compounds tied to recipe, some to variety, some even to altitude. On the graphs in front of you, you can see a summary of that comparative data.
As we talked before, the table setup was a challenge for all the competitors to choose. Dale is using a different one. The judges are not watching him. The judges are actually focusing in what is in front of them.
Yeah, he's got a setting in front of them that he told them not to actually turn to him as he's working and talking, which is very, very uncommon thing to do.
I think it's useful because he can be relaxed and also the judges can focus on the drinks that they're gonna have in front.
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely works well for his job.
Yeah, it's a lot of science, it's a lot of details and chemistry and everything else. Very interesting.
It's other competitors that invest time in research or improve the quality.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he actually did this like specific mass spectrometry.
So,
Say it.
I'm going to
this
serve
actual
these drinks
coffee
at
in
50
this
degrees to maximize your perception of sweetness from the milk. And I'm going to use a 10% foam to give a light, silky texture. And I'm going to introduce you to my first three compounds, each of which is tied and has their highest concentration in this beverage. The first compound is furfural. Now, it's a Maillard product. It's associated with caramelized aromas and toasted oats, but in this beverage, granola. The second compound responsible for that brown sugar sweetness is acetol. That's that. The third compound, 3-furaldehyde. On its own, gives us warming spices, gentle sweetness, but with this milk, poached pear. Now, when I serve you your espresso, I'm going to talk you through another 4 compounds, each of which is tied to aromas specific to that extraction. But right now, I just want you to enjoy these drinks, look for those flavors, have fun.
Focused on the judges enjoying their experience and not thinking too far ahead. I suppose.
Give the judges the time to think, to try, and to interpret the flavors that they
Round of applause for Dale's Milk Course.
I guess what he's talking about, it's very groundbreaking, so it's actually nice to give judges enough time to
Time check, please.
Yeah, it's a lot of data to take.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So probably something you need a few extra minutes to really digest.
And also the routine is engaged. I mean, you don't feel the time. It's already 6 minutes, and I feel like it just started.
Yeah, it's flying by. Hopefully that's on purpose, right?
Yep.
He seems very comfortable with the machine. It seems like he's working very excited, ready for this. I don't have a lot of information about the coffee. Some of the chemistry details that are in it.
Yeah, we don't know yet which coffee he's using. I think he haven't told us. He haven't told the judges which coffee they are trying.
I don't believe he said so.
So, judges,
I'm sure.
I'm going to lift the lids on these boxes in front of you to reveal a sensory playset. 4 objects designed to introduce you to compounds within this extraction. 20 grams in, 44 out, a slightly higher extraction. I'm going to talk you through each of these. So I'd like you to start with the cubes. So just lift them up, raise them to your nose, look to the bottom, pick them up. Sorry, it's difficult. Okay, raise it to your nose. This contains the compound 2-methylpropanol. And it's connected to aromas of bright fruit. For balance with the sweetness in this extraction, you'll taste this in the espresso as pomegranate. Now I'm going to talk you through the remaining objects whilst I'm over there, so please follow through. Okay, I'd like you to lift up the sphere. Raise that one to your nose. This one contains 2-fluoromethanol acetate, linked to sweet and floral aromas in the espresso. You'll taste this as Ethiopian honey. And now I'd like you to lift up the pyramid. This one actually contains 2 compounds, D-limonene and 2-acetylpyrrole. Together, they give you the flavor of caramelized orange. And then we have one final object. This is going to be a tactile reference point, the glass vial. Just raise it up and gently tilt it from side to side. Get an idea of how the liquid moves, silky, coating. Now as I serve you your espresso, I would like you to judge the crema only, nothing else at this stage.
I can give you what you want, but you got to go home with me. I forgot some good old love.
He's giving examples to the judges for what espresso is gonna feel. I mean, that there's aroma, there's a lot of aroma
Those
there.
3 flavors will interact with other tactile and taste sensations to deliver medium-high acidity, medium sweetness, and a medium body with a pleasing finish and a silky mouthfeel that reminds me of Pinot Noir. Now when you stir this, good strong stirs 5 times, drop your spoons in the great pots, and please enjoy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, lots of sensory experience with the before they actually aroma and texture. Everything else. This is very innovative.
And clever because the judges can have the parameter exactly what they're gonna taste.
Pretty little thing, let me like to count, cause mama, I'm so hard for hell now, yes I am.
Seems like he's done so much. I think the time's flying by, but he's done so many things in the last 9.5 minutes. Feels like he's done 3/4.
Baby, here I am, I'm a man on the scene.
Really moving around the stage.
You what you want, come go home with me.
And as we talked before, the judges are focusing in flavor, so they don't know what he's doing in the back,
Yeah.
so they can watch the movement, but he can be comfortable at the same time, so that's really nice.
Thank you so much.
It's a very fun presentation to watch.
judges, I'd like you to turn you around. I'd like you to come and face me. Straight over here. Squeeze in a little bit. We're all friends. We're going to jump to the top of the score sheets. This coffee is a fully washed SL28 from El Salvador, grown by Ernesto Menendez at Finca Las Brumas. And this is a microlot, separated from the rest of the SL28 harvest due to its exceptional depth and complexity that it demonstrated on the cupping table. Now this was grown at 50 meters above sea level, under extensive wild forest shade, and in virgin soil that's never been farmed. And all of those conditions led to an extremely slow maturation. It took 7 years before these plants produced their first crop, and the cherry maturation took 15% longer than the rest of the farm. Now through the GCMS, I was able to identify 3 key aromatic compounds tied to that slow maturation. And these were responsible not for the top notes you taste in the espresso there, but for those subtle flavors that really raise the cup's quality. For my signature beverage, I can increase the presence of flavors from those compounds to showcase a new side of this espresso, the one that is exceptional. So the first compound, 1-methyl-1H-pyrrole, and it's connected to botanical and herbaceous aromas. So throughout the presentation, I've infused 88 grams of espresso, which is the recipe you just tasted, with 4 grams of a pre-washed Japanese oolong from Kyoto region. Now infusing this way allows me to add a positive botanical bitterness without affecting texture. My second compound, 2,6-dimethylpyrazine, and this is tied to the aroma of sweet cacao. So during the milk course, I infused 125 grams of hot water with 30 grams of lacto-fermented cacao nibs, which I then strained over 60 grams of ice to dilute and chill. Now, I fermented these for 3 days in a solution of a sourdough culture that I've been cultivating for 6 years. Now, fermentation allowed me to increase and develop the naturally present cacao sweetness, allowing it to balance better with this espresso. I am adding 5 grams of this to each drink.
So it took 6 years to drink this initiative, right?
My final compound, 2,3-hexane-diol. And this was amazing. It's the flavor of cream. Cream's a tough one. I don't want to add cream and lose espresso dominance. So we took 250 mils of fresh milk, and we added 80 grams of a citric acid solution of 4.6 pH. That acidity separated the whey from the milk, which is then clarified through paper. Now that whey is going to interact with the orange you tasted in the espresso earlier to develop a new flavor. Now I'm serving this drink on a flat plane of ice. And I'm going to cool all the ingredients with frozen rocks. In both these steps, we're going to chill whilst minimizing dilution. And I charge it with NO2 to develop a creamy mouthfeel. So, I left all the farm information to the very end of this presentation. Not because I think it's unimportant, but because to me, it's the most important thing of all. But when we give it away without context, it doesn't have that value. It's our job to build that connection between the sensory experience and the farm. And the opportunity to use things like the GCMS so that I can better understand that connection. And finding new ways to present that kind of information, like this signature drink, like this sensory playset. That's really what excites me, sharing that with our customers. Okay, this can be a cold drink. 2 different flavor experiences. So your first sip, creamy mouthfeel, 80% dark chocolate. Thank you. And in the finish, that oolong bitterness. Then I want you to wait 30 seconds before you take your second sip. Then you'll find balanced orange cream soda. I'll you take your first sip as soon as I serve these to you. It's been my absolute pleasure to be here in Seoul with you. Thanks for your time, guys. Thank you. Time.
The reigning champion